Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, wherever you might be in the United States, Australia, or anywhere else around the globe. Live from the Philippines, from the bedroom studio located in Leyte. This is Dan's retirement journey. Hey, by the way, I'm totally and completely unscripted. Okay, I'm glad it's monetized and my ads are running. But I did get an interesting email. Where um, uh, Google had sent me an email that stated something like your membership in this channel has been paused, and I couldn't find out any information as to why I was no longer allowed to pay that person's channel money. So lucky for me, I have that person's Gcash, and I could just pay the monthly by sending them directly to the Gcash account. Because I know the person needs the money. Most people on YouTube, if you're in the Philippines, you're here for a reason, and one of the reasons is economic. And so I hate when something happens, that causes a channel to be disrupted. As a matter of fact, I think it might be happening to me. I got an email saying something like, you've got to go in and give us your government ID, blah 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 blah. And I ignored it. It said, without this, we're not going to be able to continue monetizing your channel. By the way, just want to let you know. Oh, 123, Tarl is in the house. Thanks for coming to. Appreciate it, Tarl. I want to let you guys know that. So monetization, I see dollars accumulating, into my account. So I suppose the email that I got that said you have to go in and so we could send you a code has something to do with that. In other words, they say we won't be able to continue monetizing your account, provide some form of ID. I really don't know how this whole YouTube thing works. I'm going to be honest with you. How do I get my hands on that 12 or 13 bucks that's in the account so that I could send it off to Sammy? That's all I want to know. Sammy, speaking of Sammy, hello to y'all. Robert's in the house. Brother Robert, how are you? Yeah, so anyway, this whole YouTube, when they start saying send ID, and control you more. So we have you. And well, anyway, it's okay because it's their platform. I mean, it's their operation. They can do whatever the hell they want, right? Like I was talking about last week, the transferring of money. Larice, the Philippines' most eligible bachelorette, is in the house. I don't know why I enjoy saying that. And hi from Sammy. And hellos all the way around. So listen, before we get into this week's topic, I just want to say that since last week's was all about money transfer, so we go down the bank, the money is there, the cash is there. And I'm happy the bank-to-bank transfer worked without a hitch, no problems. I do notice that Citibank, though, keeps sending me, authorization codes. So maybe they could see my NordVPN is active. I'm not sure, but the NordVPN and other VPNs, I don't know how they work, honestly, but I just have elderly thoughts going in my mind about how the thing works. And eventually, the banks, IT departments, they want to know where you're located around the world because it's about social control also, I think. They want to know your movements. And so it's not so much that you're trying to do banking from a foreign country more than it is the fact that you are in a foreign country and they just want to know where you're at. I'm sure they report all this information to the government. Yeah. So anyway, the bank transfer went through. That was just my little commentary. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about such things on YouTube. And then, yeah. Uh, I'm a pretty comical person. I'm tongue in cheek about everything. Listen. If you want to know if Dan is tongue in cheek about something, or if he's serious or not, you just take it from me. Most of the time, I'm just playing around. You know, I have a very, very dry sense of humor. It's like sawdust. But I'm hated by a lot of people, and the reason why is because I just tell it the way it is. And of course, even when you're joking about something, there's an underlying there are currents, of your true beliefs. That certainly is the case with me. In other words, I like pointing out hypocrisies and systems of things. And so, getting on with the bottom line of that transfer. The bottom line. See, that's an accounting joke. One for Dan. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So then I said, well, this is good. Another little sum of money to see if that shows up. And then, of course, it shows like clockwork. They send me verification codes and what have you. And they say, yeah, you are who you say you are. And we have sent the money off. So I'm starting to become a little bit more relaxed because I could kind of see the future in transferring money to the Philippines, in terms of getting it over here quick. I know that my next going to make some of you jealous, but I have accumulated too much money in my checking account. And so I'm starting to panic a little bit. I'm just going to have I'm having the best time of my life here in the Philippines. I got to tell you that I never thought that life could get this good. I'm almost sure that in the States, I absolutely wouldn't have been able to have this level of enjoyment of life. I've been so busy here at the house working on projects that I haven't had much time for YouTube or Facebook and stuff other than to go in there and check messages. We've been so busy because we're making the final push, to completion of this project. I probably have another week to go if I push it. And it's really exciting for me because, of course, once we get all this done, we're going to be on our way, traveling around to different areas of the Philippines, something that I look very, very much forward to. Of course, someone pointed out that I have an evil side and a negative side. And yes, both are true. I'm always thinking about, wow, instead of counting my blessings, here's what happens, right? I started thinking about what terrible thing is going to be bestowed upon Dan and his family because things are going so well. I'm always for the earthquake, the typhoon, the nuclear bomb to drop, Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. No nuclear bombs coming this way as far as I know. No, that was just a bit of a leftover storm on the roof. That's all that noise was. Mm-hmm. There's Larice. Ace has been resurrected. Woo! My goodness gracious. Larice is one of the ones I'm think. I want to meet. Not thinking about meeting. I definitely want to meet Larice. But her province is hard to get to. I've been looking on maps. I got maps all over the dining room table. Let's see. Where's Larice? Where's Larice's village? Where's her province? And it's a little difficult to get to. I mean, I don't mind saying. We might have to do a deal where Larice jumps on a plane, and Dan and Minnie jump on a plane, and we meet somewhere in the middle somewhere. I'd be happy to do that. That's just an exciting adventure for both Minnie and I, and I'm sure Larice. How many times have you flown, Larice? Larice is probably sitting there not even listening to me. She's probably sitting there just working her computer, her machine. Because Larice, I'm telling you, I've gotten up at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and Larice is Larice is sitting there sending out those links. It's very so. I mean, she works so hard. I think Larice has figured out that she gets rewarded. She gets rewarded by all the hard work that she puts in. There's a direct relationship. Imagine that, a correlation, if you will, between how hard you work and earn on investment. It comes in the form of sometimes money, but sometimes it's love and appreciation and friendship that are long lasting, and those things are important, right? Yeah. So back to the money thing. So the transfer went well, a bit more relaxed about it, and now I know that I could probably get away with transferring money 4 times per year, maybe, from the checking account in the U.S. of A. to the Philippines. And if anything else comes up, and then I've got my son, my trustworthy son that I could count on, who has the money. All he has to do is go over to the bank, go in there and scoop some money up, and then send it over here to the Philippines. Larry says, everyone in the Philippines feel happy that you were over there. It just got down to 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes. Something like Larry, an old George Carlin joke where he did. I don't know if you know who George Carlin is, but I figure you would, right? And so George Carlin used to give a weather report, right? And he said, dark tonight, lighter tomorrow, something like that. I remember the quote, right? But it seems like that the weather forecast is always the same, right? Sunny with occasional scattered storms. 87 to 90 a day, that sort of thing. Goodness gracious, that's kind of funny. Okay, so let's get on with this topic about LDRs, right? Because I think this is a very important topic, because I keep seeing everybody else. It seems like everybody, not just one or two, everybody is talking about the LDR thing. And why do you think they're talking about it? I think they're talking about it because that's, an entire globe. I mean, until technology and internet and those types of things, you haven't been able to talk to anyone in a foreign country having aspirations that you would be dating them one day, or dating them online, and eventually going over and meeting them, falling in love, getting married, and then living happily ever after. I mean, this is a recent occurrence, and so I think this is why everybody's talking about it. Because I remember in the early days of online dating, you would have to you would, but oh yeah, I'm dating this fantastic person from the Philippines, and I think that I'm gonna end up. I think I'm gonna end up going over there and marrying her and bring her back to the States, and changing her life forever, change her trajectory of her family forever, and some of you have the power to do this. Of the relationship, you have the power to do this. Let's say that it doesn't go as far as you going over there to the Philippines, or oh, by the way, I'm sorry for sharing scattered thoughts. It's Dan, though. It wouldn't be Dan without sharing the scattered thoughts. The online dating thing, it was actually Russia that started this first. Do you remember this? So we had some very, very intelligent, super intelligent, because I hung around with them. These were brainiacs, and they were friends of mine that came from Russia, that immigrated here. They were refugees, and some of them, and I had friends from Ukraine. And so the early high-tech brainiacs, I actually knew a man who set up one of the largest Russian dating websites on the planet that still exists today. Of course, here's the whole thing. It's kind of died out. I'm not exactly sure why. How many guesses do you even need? My first online girlfriend was from Moscow. Point this out. Date Asia didn't invent, LDR online dating. They didn't do it. I mean, you remember all this? I think you guys remember this. That it was basically Russian women that became like a commodity here in the United States, and so all these men started chatting with them on the online dating sites, and the next thing um, my friends are married to Russian women, and a couple of years later, they're divorced from Russian women. Of course, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Filipino relationships, I'm not saying they don't happen. Ah. Dan, I had to say that I'm in a relationship with a new Facebook getting hit on by too many people. Somewhere, good women and men. Hammers, yeah. So I actually was going to chat with this Larry privately, but since you brought it up publicly, let's talk about it. Dan, Dayton, Asia may not have invented it, but they improved it. Yeah, they ran with it. So the people that become the multi-bazillionaires, people that repurpose or expand or improve the old idea. And so you are 100% on the money once again, Larry. So here's what's going on, Larry. I'm getting requests. I'm getting Facebook requests from women from Brazil and South America and Ecuador. Listen, these are some of the most beautiful women in the world as far as I'm concerned. And then when I go in there and I check, okay, let me check out the profile. Let me see if there's a hustle going on. And then the mutual friend is you. And so I'm like, damn, party on, Larry. Party on, Larry Lee. I have no complaints. I have no complaints or critiques. Uh-oh. Dating sites for me, says Sam, scammer and liar people, not all, but most all. Yeah, and so I think it prompted me to have this discussion is it possible, Sammy, based on your experience, that you could weed out and the liars, and then how do you do it? Of course, it's trick or treat time, right? And so it's either a trick or a treat. So I would say that if you meet some couple of minutes, they're saying, "Can you send me money?" You probably that's probably a bad sign. What do you think? Oh yeah, indeed, yes. It's hard a genuine person. I understand that. Back in the day, it was easier when Minnie and I started doing this Yahoo group chat, and then eventually it became online dating stuff. Things didn't work the same way, and I think it's because of what thing. It was all too new. People weren't thinking that far ahead as far as scamming people out of their money. In fact, but we know who got a head start on the scamming thing, and it wasn't. It was. We know. I mean, if you wanted to zero in on a region of where the scams were coming from, you had hotspots located a couple different places around the world. And so you would always um, cautiously approach someone who were located in one of those hotspot areas. Of course, in the east, it probably took a long, long time before the Philippines because of internet, and technology before it caught up with you. Now we got Starlink, we got fiber optic cable, which I'm operating on. Oh, by the way, I hope we don't get a blackout. It is Saturday or a brownout. Okay, so Larry's message at work all day. You see that? See that? And so I'm, you know, I think I'm putting the kibosh on adding new people to my Facebook page for right now. I could always block. I like hitting the block button for some reason. It tingles, it tingles my finger every time I hit the block button. Block, 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 block. Well, if you're a woman, you have to be careful. During the pandemic, remember what happened during the pandemic? There was nothing to do. We were on lockdown. We could barely come out of your homes. Well, what are people going to do? They're going to sit there and they're going to, man, I got to figure out a way to make. And so then the cam girl was, and what's that fan website, that became very, very popular. And Sean was saying now it's tanking. People they can't they can't pay anybody to watch them now. What's it called? OnlyFans. So you had or fans only. I don't know. OnlyFans, fans only. I'm so confused. But anyway, they use it as a platform for earning money, right? Doing cam boy and cam girl stuff. Sammy, I agree. Many have asked for money or load the first time they contact me. Yeah, that's a bad sign. And Robert is so. I have contact. It is on the red PLGS. So I'm lost on that. I don't know what PLGS is. Most common is Baba or Honey. I don't have data load. My phone is broken. Send me money, babe, so I can buy or contact you. Oh yeah. That happened. That happened way back in. So Sammy, I remember that. Never ever in my life asking money anyone for any reason why I don't, because I know how hard to find money and I'm scared to come over me. So I can understand that. But don't be ashamed of asking for money. That's all I got to say. Don't be ashamed to ask the people that anyway, that you have a solid relationship with, if they have a few extra greenbacks in their wallet. After all, greenbacks are virtually worthless unless you spend them in the Philippines, where you're getting 58 and change to one on a dollar. So I mean, my whole speech about that. I mean, if you go into Old Dog New Tricks, what's Old Dog New Tricks talking about? Most are their money is going in Thailand and in the Philippines. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's insane. Can you imagine? You're just a working stiff, and then all of a sudden you're a millionaire in the Philippines. I mean, it's crazy. It's life's best kept. No one wants you to know it. Sammy says some scammer move is, babe or honey, my dad or mom, any family members in the hospital, please help me, babe or honey. Shame on them for making a reason to scam foreigners. Yeah, but some foreigners, they know they're being scammed and they still send the money. It's all relative. I'll give you, for example, right? So we know the conditions in certain world. Things aren't going so well. The economies aren't going so well, and so in order to save face, someone may send you a message that says, "Hey, I've got an aunt or an uncle," and it's all relative. It's all relative to how much money you have available to spend. And for me, I know that people have a different take on this. For me personally, I just kind of like ignore the reason why. Especially if I'm just sending over what I could afford or what's in my pocket that day. An extra 100 pesos, an extra 50 pesos, something like that. You know, it's an amazing thing, but an extra 50, 100 pesos can really work to help someone get through the day in the Philippines. And so that's why I'm making this point. So if they come and they say, I really need this cash, you know, today, blah, blah, I might, I might send over 100 pesos if I can, if I have it in my pocket to send. And the reason that I'm sending it, or they say that they're sending it, doesn't have much to do with my what's in my heart as the reason for why why I want to send it. You know, I doubt that anybody is becoming or very few people are becoming multimillionaires because they're scamming people out of their money. I don't think this is an everyday occurrence. So let's see. Oh, wait. I passed over Larry's comment. So I had a woman ask me to give her my phone number because she said that she needed it to get her phone fixed. What? What? Scam alert, scam alert. Woo, 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 woo. I always cry when I see some foreigner get hurts my feelings. Yeah, I could see it from that perspective, you know? I could see it from that perspective because because it harms the name of your people. And so Filipino people are good people. And so you try and do whatever you can in order to protect the reputation of your country, your fellow Filipinos. That's why. And so you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing if by letting somebody know that you scammed and they're not being honorable and that sort of thing. Sammy, I had one woman said that she was at the funeral home because her uncle died. Yeah. You know what's interesting though? Um, if you were able to send money, like I said, if you sent money, let's say they wouldn't leave you alone. You decide, yeah, 50 pesos their way. I guarantee you'll never hear from them again. About that, Larry. Some men are so stupid that they know. Well, men they think with the other head sometimes. I'm the first to admit it. I've got a big head, and so I've got a big head, Sammy. What do I do? What do I do? It's so complicated. It's so complicated. Life is hard. It's so difficult sometimes. Yeah, that's true. V column. That's right. I would say so. Yes. No, Sammy, that's a very, very good suggestion. That's something that everybody should do. Send money to some random person that you've never formed any kind of with at all. Quite frankly, I'd rather give my money to a cam girl because I'm getting something back in return. If somebody sent me a message and they said, "Oh, Sammy, don't do this, okay?" If someone messaged and they said, "Hey, I'm a cam girl. I'm just trying to make my way to earn a few pesos. Would you be willing to pay me for a live show?" Well, I have a little bit more respect for a person like that, quite frankly. Sammy, you're making very good points of what to look for. Yeah, and I figured I'm grateful because I figured that, oh, this live stream probably won't go anywhere unless Sammy shows up. That's why you trust me last time. I'm a scammer. That's what people say. I don't know who's saying that about you, but I would just let that crap roll right off my shoulders. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Who the hell cares? No. I mean, really. I This is this, Sammy. Oh, Marianne Salonga's here. Hi, Marianne. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you so much. So, Sammy, but think about it like this: we had this discussion before, Sammy, online and offline. Seems like you need another lesson. I'm to come over to your island, to Negros, and we're going to have a sit down chat about this, one on one, face to face, one on one, face to face. Dan, with all these scammers, is why I lied and said I'm in a relationship. Oh no, but you're revealing us in front of God and everybody. We've made some fundamental errors ourselves, right, Larry? I mean, everybody, I keep money in my mattress at home. So what are people going to do? They're going to come, and the first thing they're going to do after they take me out is they're going to go to the mattress, see how much money's in there. So I had to move it. Oh, come on. Everybody, and even Knit Band, don't keep money in my mattress. That was just I was just saying, do the five, don't send lots of money if you didn't meet that person yet. It's not a good idea to get so involved in sending money and financial support unless you've actually been to the Philippines and you understand the culture. Here, and you get how the whole system works. Then you're gonna know how to play it, what to say, what to do, to get down to the bottom line. Oh, Mertz, how are you? Thanks so much for coming. I sure enjoy your live streams and your contests and this that you and your community are providing for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I scammed Kuya Dan too. Oh, you were scammed, or you have scammed somebody? Yeah, are we talking hundreds of thousands of dollars here, Sammy? What are we talking about? I mean, it's relative. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the whole point. Don't you think the one and you're doing the scamming that this is going to hit? This has a chance of hitting you in the ass end when the smoke clears. I mean, but how could it hurt giving money out of the goodness of my heart? I figure it could only help me because I'm just being the nice guy. I'm just somebody said, "Oh, Dan, I need 100 pesos. Can you send?" And then if I have the money, I'll send it. But I don't think about the reason. Usually, most people that know me, they know me that I don't ask people for a reason. If they say, man, it sure would be nice to get 100 pesos, would help me help get me through the day. I most likely, I'm not going to ask the reason as to why you need it. It's really not. If I have my 100 pesos, I'm going to send it. And if I don't have it that day, I'm not going to send it. Hey, Sammy, I'm going to tell you right now, you can scam me anytime you want, all day, all night long. But wait till he gets home. That's all I have to say about that, Sammy. Wait until your daddy gets home. Uh, oh my goodness gracious. I'm having so much fun so far. Yeah, I know. But you see, but I know, and I got to tell you what I'm thinking about this, Robert. Um, I'm going to tell you honestly, publicly, in front of God and everybody, about how I feel. Sammy knows how I feel about this subject, right? Sammy knows how I feel about this subject. I'll say it one more time. I don't consider, what the money is for. I don't consider it most of the time because I'm giving it out of the goodness of my heart. So I'm not expecting anything back in return. That's the whole thing. I don't believe we have any scammers in your chat. No, I don't know of one. I don't know of one. Quick about long distance relationships. Crystal Venture is here. Crystal's hi. How are you? Crystal works so hard on her business. I wish I could just sit all day, just one day, and chat with Crystals, because every time I learn so much. Sammy and Crystals, I learn so much from. Because it's just factoids. The way it is in the Philippines, I like that. Sammy says, "Kui, that's what other men and girls say, because I'm a lady boy." Hmm. I have to think about that. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if being a lady boy or just being a lady or a man has any this whatsoever. Most of those people talking probably have never even been in the Philippines. They probably have never been here. They probably never touched ground here. They don't understand the culture of the Filipino people. Everyone knows that I am broke. Oh, see, but Dodger Blue, honestly, that is a strategy. I mean, it's one that's very, very effective. And so I can't say that I haven't done that in the past. Use that strategy where I spin the table. Oh my, when somebody asks me for money, and then I say, "This is the olden days. This isn't current." Like as Larry pointed out, I don't have any scammers that um, bug me for money or try to get in my wallet. But in the olden days, when I had game starting out, yeah, that happened a few times. And I'd spin it on them and say, "Oh man, you think you could spare a dime for me today? You know, my pockets are kind of empty." I would start first, and then I never hear from them again. Oh, I apologize. Oh my goodness, I need to learn how to use my mute on my mic. See you at fan crystals, that's for sure. Loyalty and honesty is very, very important. But in the Philippines and you've never met the person, can you have a true, loving, long relationship? See, that's really the point of this whole thing. And donuts, I got my coffee here, no donuts. As a matter of fact, Larice, I haven't been down to the Dunkin' Donuts this week. I have not been down to the Dunkin' Donuts this week. And the reason is been too dang busy here at the house with the construction crew. As a matter of fact, I hear them working out there. Dodger Blue, how are you? La dee da dee da dee da. You're number one in our book. Don't ever change, Sammy. No, change. I mean, change your clothes. I mean, but you yourself don't ever change. Yeah, but how would you scam Robert? What line would you use on me? You're you're a fellow Westerner. What could you say to me that would want me to? You could probably say that I've won Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes, and you'll need to send me $1,000 in order to claim your prize. I might fall for that. I'm very, you know. I'm quite I'm quite a naive fellow also. Honeyco is in the chat. Honeyco, I miss you. As you know, I haven't been in your chat in such a long time. But I would never give up that membership, Honeyco. Never, ever, ever. Not until the day I leave this planet. Thank you so much. for coming to the chat. Folks, listen, go over to Honeyco, sign up, subscribe, and you're going to get real life in progress on Honeyco's live streams. So, I mean, that's just fact, that's fact. All right, let's talk some more about this. Okay, so yeah, Larry's making a good point. Sammy, that would only be true if you lied to people, which you do not. No, I have not experienced it. For all those of you, especially that rat that was in the chat last week, I give you this, rat. You get this. That's what you get. Get alive. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. No reason to come on here and make disparaging comments about any reason. There's no reason for it. All you're doing is showing people how unhappy you are. Get a grip on yourself. All you're doing is showing people how miserable you are in life. I mean, that's the way that I view that. The quickest way to get me to not be your friend is to come with some bullshit. And that has happened a couple of times in the past week and a half or 2 weeks. I'm getting sick of it. Don't come to me with your bullshit. Most of the time I'm not that interested. I'm not that interested in hearing your story about, because usually it translates into, I mean, it's like a mirror, when you do stuff like that. It's a reflection on your own unhappiness, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, private relations. I give all my best to advise friends, give my opinion. They misunderstood you. Oh yeah, I saw it. I thought it was perfectly fine. I have no issues with it whatsoever, myself, personally. Tim is in the house. Tim, as usual. As usual, I'm slow, not hitting the stream, not hitting the chat in real time. Don't send money to the person you have not met yet. Yes, that's right. That's right. And especially if you haven't been to the Philippines, since we're talking about the Philippines, you got on here too, first. Greetings to everyone from Tim, from Pampanga. I hope it's not raining. Cats and dogs or nuclear weapons down upon you, Tim. Oh, there's my yummy. Thank you. Bryce is in the house. Hi, Bryce. Yeah, hey, come on over here, big boy. That would definitely get my attention if if Robert said something like that to me. Yeah, I know, because we've been busy here at the house, Jeff. Yeah, I really wanted to go down there 2 or 3 times, and I got to tell you, I don't even think I'm going to make it this morning. Because we're in the home stretch here on the project at the house. We're trying to get rid of as Robert calls it, the moat around the house. We're close, I think we have rock being delivered next week. And so I'm going to take those 3/4 inch gravel and I got a plan for covering everything up. Sump pump tank ready to go. I don't have the sump pump yet, but 1 more week and then I could call the plumber in to do the rest of the work, the final Well, the electrician and the plumber, but we have all the rough plumbing in and all that. These guys, this crew number 2, they're just fabulous. They're doing such a great job. I really miss Honeyco. Let's see. Sammy says, if you have a boyfriend, Dan, I will scam him. Listen, I probably would help you. I probably would help you do it. Thank you for sharing the stream. My stream is so funny. Trick or treat fools. Yeah, Buddha. I think technology also is aiding and abetting the criminals, if you will. Yeah, the immoral people that are showing up. Companies like Starlink is making it possible. Did I out loud? Companies like is going to make scamming all over the world. Proliferate, whatever you say, however you say it. Hey, I think they know it too in the Philippines. I think they know it. Oh, pardon me while I scratch my. Oh, I have an itch back here. I just have to scratch it. All right, sorry about that. Let's see. Here's the thing. So I don't know if most of you have heard about this, but Marcos just into law a SIM card registration requirement. So now, before you can go get a SIM card, that SIM card has to be registered. It has to be attached to a person, name, address, and all this other stuff. Well, do that. We don't have a law in the United States, as far as I know, that requires that. But we do it anyway if we have a subscription service for our cell phone. They have our name, our address, our credit card information for billing and all those other things, And so, but here in the Philippines, I think part of the problem is that people, they're not really, they don't really, they stay in one place mostly, but they don't have a solid address either. Addresses are different. Some places have addresses attached to them, most places don't. And so you give a general description of where you're located. Like for us, city of Bye Leyte, Tagaya, blah, 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 blah. It takes you to the street corner of where you live. And then if somebody needed to find you, they would say, hey, do you know where the American is? Do you know where what do they say? Cano. You know where the Cano. You know where the Cano lives? And then they point. Like the Grab driver yesterday, I ordered a burger. I got to go out for food, so I decided, let's try Grab, right? And the boom, Grab driver found us ASAP. All he did was come around the corner to where the street is and say, hey, where does the American live? Where does the Cano live? And then they, down there, end of the block, and boom, there in no time. Yeah, some are desperate looking for boyfriend online. That's true. And they'll go to extremes in order to capture one. I say capture. Yeah, they will capture you. Buddha's in the house. Hi, Buddha. Sammy is saying honeycomb, not only some, it's too many. Bryce 8. Bryce, man, oh man, thanks so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. And the support of your community is very, very much appreciated. So let's talk about what? Oh, yeah. So while I'm doing my research on the subject, listen, it's easy enough to find people who talk about being scammed on, go to YouTube, put in LDR Philippines scammers, and then you're going to see all these YouTube videos. You probably can't get through all the videos in a lifetime. But the stories are amusing. You know, I mean, you could sit there and second guess, and you could say, well, how did that American fall for that? How did that Aussie fall? You know, and you're seeing they're going, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember when that happened to me. So anyway, so let's talk about these 10 or 12 reasons why desperate looking for a boyfriend. Don't be desperate. That's the number one rule of finding of having a relationship, even a long distance one. That should have been number one on my list. Do not be desperate. But other things come into play here. Other things come into play here. I think that if you go to Sally Tanai's YouTube channel, she published a video on the subject on 4/2021. It only got 1.k views, but it should have gotten a whole bunch more, in my opinion. She has 10.3k subscribers, so she ain't playing. She ain't playing. She's serious business. Go and subscribe to her channel. Dan, trolls hate their life and want to make everyone else miserable. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about, honestly. You know, I think they want to come in, they want to start some kind of drama, you know, because they are living such an unhappy life. Dan, you don't chat in artificial time either. Okay. It's not live and artificial. What is it? I feel like I'm in a time machine, Tim. I feel like I'm in an alternative universe when I do live streams. You know what's really wild? Go in there and videotape yourself doing a live stream, and you'll pass out. Listen, if you go and do that, don't tell them I told you to do it, okay? Oh, too many scam behind the scenes on YouTube. Yes, a lot of them, they're not going to come to light. You know, number one, they're not going to want to be embarrassed. But Honeyco is exactly right. There's a lot of crap behind the scenes. You know, I mean, a lot of crap. Buckets loads of it. Bucket loads. All right, so the title of Sally Tanai, that's where I was going. It's called 12 Reasons for a Failed LDR. 12 Reasons to Avoid, I think is what she's saying. 12 Reasons to Avoid. Now, but I want to warn you in advance that it's going to, especially if Knitband is in the house. Knitband, I want to warn everybody in advance that it might seem like she presents this in a very negative light, as opposed to a more positive, right? So I could have done this video, and I suppose that I could have done the 12 reasons of a long distance relationship, but I would have put a little bit more of a positive spin on it, not looking at all the negative things. But maybe she was doing it because she could get more views if she spun it more negatively. People for some reason, I know my videos, you know, where I'm putting a dire negative spin on it, do better than the positive stuff. Yeah. Don't believe what you see on the internet. That's for sure. You have to do your own research. So, Knitband, you know what I'm talking about. People don't want to hear about a guy who, you know, they don't want to hear about a guy who has a ton of money to spend over here. They just don't. if you're that have plenty of money, you know, to live in the Philippines, and you're considered a millionaire, then you've got to come up with videos that they focus on travel and a grand and going into fancy hotels, and you're going to get a different type of audience. I think anyway. I could be wrong. Yeah. Only I can advise Sissy Boo to protect your health 100% than to protect their feelings and wants. Protect yourself. Yeah, you're number one, so don't ever change. And don't ever forget that you're number one. So when in doubt, go back to the first thing on the list, and that is that you're number one. You're the one that counts first. Without you, all else does not exist. Yeah, you can't. Besides that, you can't help anybody. You can't help anybody if you're not in good health and you're not squared away with the mental health and physical health and those types of things. Is that not true, Sammy? I don't like to make you happy with lies, Sissy Buddha. I love to make you happy with the truth because we all love you, hoping you won't misunderstand us. Oh, that is a very, very sweet thing to say, Sammy. That's very sweet. Ah, the condos at donuts. Yeah, yeah. The parade of the available women, continues. But I think that's one of the things I missed this week about not hanging out at the Dunkin' Donuts is the fact that, um, you know, the women will come by with their some of them with their moms, holding on to their mom, will point with their lips, like, there he is. There's the guy I was telling you about. That's the dude that's the target. And of course, I'm usually sitting there by myself. My wife is sitting there because we're talking usually to the other expats that show up, and the conversations, they get pretty deep, And so my wife says, time for me to go. And then she disappears, And the next thing you know, you see the parade of going by. And a couple of single lady boys, I would presume. I'll sit there and I'm going, she's very attractive. Oh, I digress. I apologize to the people in the chat. Okay, number one thing, I agree, that's on this list. Borrowed from Sally Tanai. The 12 reasons for a failed LDR. Number one, lack of communication. Okay, now I read something into communication. I don't really think she meant a lack of communication more than she was talking about the clarity of communication when you're in a long distance virtual reality relationship type thing. I mean, think about this, right? How many times have I heard, you didn't email me back last night? You missed our video chat. I kept trying to contact you on Messenger and you wouldn't respond. Okay, let's put the whole thing in perspective because Sally Tanai on her discusses this, right? And she hits a home run as far as I'm concerned. Men in the West, if it's a female, that is on the other side, and she's from the Philippines. Oftentimes, this is what happens, right? She's busy, but she's not as busy as the dude in the West, because I've mentioned this many, many different times, right? We work our ass off in the West. It is amazing that heart attack and killed over by now, because working in the United States will kill you. It will kill you. Okay, and so I'm not toiling away, right? I am working my ass off. Well, not me the last few years, but somebody is. Listen, I apologize to everybody in the chat. I wasn't implying. I just realized I said something that was really bad. Filipinos do not. No. But the work, the time is different. And so someone might suggest in some cases that there's more downtime that someone in the Philippines would have, perhaps, than someone in the West. So there have been situations that I've heard of. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if you've heard the same thing. Tell me about. Put it in the chat, where they'll get bombarded from their intended on the online relationship, and they'll expect your the person on the other side of the country will be the other side of the world in the Philippines will be expecting an immediate from you. But you're so busy working both your 3 jobs and your online side gig that you're kind of like, oh, my honey is trying to get a hold of me. I'm so busy right now. Oh, it'll be okay. I'll give her a call. You know, with this. And the problem is the work just keeps coming. It does not stop. It just keeps coming. And so she points out in here that 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 your intended in the West can become very, very busy. By the way, welcome Mabel Torres. She's in the house and she's very supportive of the channel. And I just want to say hello and how much I appreciate her support and her love, that she sends a lot of love and support our way. All right, you have to take a moment to explain, in a way in which is clearly understood that, how the works in the West. Because a lot of people may not know, keeping up with the Joneses, man, it's a very, very, very difficult thing to do. Yeah. So if you can imagine Minnie working full time, all of the overtime she can handle, and then she was doing many side gigs. I don't want to listen. There's too many to list. But Minnie, in the Philippines, one thing about Philippine people is that they know how to get those side gigs going. For example, has demonstrated that. Sammy's a carpenter, a painter, a koi pond, fish entrepreneur. In other words, Sammy's doing 10 different things in 15 in order to generate revenue streams for her family, because you need all of them. You need all of them in order to make it work. Yeah, come by. I've been waiting for you to come by, but I realized I should have sent you a message, Jeff, letting you know that we weren't going to be down at the DD. Actually, I didn't really know. Just kind of worked out that way, that these guys are in the home stretch, and so they need a lot of TLC and attention. So come over to the house, though, if you want. I'm here. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm here, and I got a couple of cases of beer sitting around. San Miguel. Pretty Sammy. Absolutely. Jeff lives here. You guys know that, right? Jeff's been living here. He's got a nice little family thing going. Go back and look at our, it's the budget video, how to live just fine and dandy in Bye Bye City Leyte on $900 a month. I think that's getting close to 1K views. I think that is close to 1K. It'd be nice if it went over the. Maybe we need to do a video with a Filipina, and that is that how to live in the Philippines on $200, and then you watch a video with that title will go through the roof. It'll end up going viral. Oh, you're in the background because you feel. Go get you some rest, Mabel. We appreciate you being here. Oh, Dan, in my live too much to pass out. You're amazing in your live streams, Larry. Does anybody really know what time? Well, let me see. I don't right now, but I will know. I'll be setting up these clocks, so that you can see them in the background. Won't a lot of you. uh, something like that. Something like that would would certainly annoy the hell out of me. Filipina Raquel is in the house. Filipina Raquel. Good morning. How are you this morning? Bryce still with us. Robert, appreciate you. Sammy, no one can change me, Kuya Dan, and thanks a lot, Kuya. Sammy, why would anybody want to change you? Why? Tim says most millionaire on YouTube make they are poor. That's what I'm saying. Yes, very good point. Because pain and suffering, that's what sells. People don't want to hear from me. I moved to the Philippines and life is great and everything is going fantastic and I love my life. I just can't believe it. And who wants to listen to that nonsense? Thank you so much, Filipina Raquel. I appreciate your love and support always. God bless you. Yeah, who wants to listen to that crap? That. Do you think that a title would this title would go over? I moved to the Philippines and became a multi-millionaire overnight. It says, Dan, you just miss being a piece of meat. No. But I still, I'm a piece of meat. Yeah. So yeah, especially when the daughters buy the Dunkin' Donuts while I'm sitting there drinking coffee. It's pretty amusing. But maybe perhaps I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be. Because I feel guilty afterwards. Of course, Minnie knows this. She sits there and watches it, right? They'll see me first, and then they'll see Minnie, and then all of a sudden they go, "Oh, Jesus. there's his wife. Forget it. That idea is gone." But it's funny because there's no end to the parade. They just keep going by the Dunkin' Donuts, and sometimes they have their moms are towing them, saying, "There's the Kano, there's the American over there. Go inside there, get to know him." So that is pretty fun. It massages the ego. Certainly you've done that. I mean, that's how some Americans and Westerners end up over in the Philippines in the first place. You come over here, you're single, you're impressed, and all of a sudden, right, you have all these beautiful women paying attention to you. When you can get one woman to pay attention to you in the States, you couldn't even get the attention of your let me not say it. You can't get the attention of one in the States, right? So what are you going to do? I mean, that comes into play too. There's a lot of casual dating going on in the United States. I got to tell you, and very few long distance relationships. Yeah, that's right. There needs to be good understanding for communication in order for a LDR to stick. Dan, never me. That's why I'm known as Lazy Larry Lee. Don't make me say the lazy part, Larry. Daisy's here. Thank you so much for showing up. That you have the voice of an angel, Daisy Lynn. Yep, you certainly do. I'll bet you're almost close to going live too. All right, where were we? Where were we? I could hardly get the words out. Oh yeah, number two. Uh, Lack of time and effort. Again, I think that I think there's an insecurity coming out here a little bit, you know. But I was about to say number one and two are related because, if the woman is going to start, a woman in the Philippines is going to start to think, is this person really interested in me if they don't want to talk to me every minute of the day or night? You see, so once you start really getting to know each other and it starts going somewhere, and then you're going to start thinking to yourself, um, you're going to think, oh yeah, we're in a relationship, we're madly in love after a while, and you're going to expect the person's attention 24/7. But as I was saying, it ain't always possible to dedicate that time when your Philippine counterpart is a vet for obvious reasons. In the West, they're working us into an early grave. They're just flat out killing us, and it is getting worse. It is not getting better. So, by the way, I've said it before, for all the Filipinos that want to go to the West because you have enhanced opportunities, approach this very cautiously, because there's no way that you could convince me to ever do it again. In other words, been there, done that, wrote the book, never wanted to have anything to do with it ever again. I could see where Filipinos are where they're looking at that as being a way to support your family and improve your living circumstances and those types of things. But I'd have to question where I'm standing anyway, whether it was worth it or not. In other words, the stuff, as hard as my wife worked in order to make the dreams come true, it, but we both had to be on the same page. Believe me, same page, it's going to be bad. I have had these types of things happen to friends of mine also. And that is that they start working usually in a healthcare organization. You bring your fiancés over to the West, and the next thing you know, they run into a Western doctor, and and you're making another trip over to the Philippines, this time to bring someone else over. Tim says, I used to set time clocks to the time at the Naval Observatory every day at 2 a.m. Required for my job when I was active duty military. That's a be in, by the way. That doesn't sound crazy at all to me. It sounds like something I should be doing. Just woke up from a deep rest. That's good. No Noise Vlog is in the house. No Noise. Lurie's still with us. Thank you for sharing, Filipino Raquel. Truly appreciate it. And Amen is here. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for coming to the live. I truly appreciate it. All right. So number 3 is lack of trust. Well, it's kind of hard trusting someone that you're chatting over the internet, because once the love starts to develop and then you're making commitments to each other, how do you have to have, the level of trust has to be tremendous, because you're both blind. You're basically both blind. All you see in front of you is what's happening right here on this screen. Oh, scared myself. Speaking of Halloween, you see, this is all I got, and so I have to trust you that you're telling me the truth about what's going on, in your life. The reason why you might not be able to chat with me every day, or not for very long every day, uh, being mostly work related. So, number 4 is the lack of loyalty. I don't know exactly how you would gauge loyalty. Maybe she's talking about once you declare your love for each other, then you have to make this commitment of loyalty to each other. Oh, wait. Now I'm looking down the list. And yeah, I think that's the direction she was going with this, because number 5 is lack of commitment. So lack of commitment probably also included in that what would be for you as the Westerner, for you on the other side of the camera, to keep your commitments or keep your promises. So if you made promises to support her family, or you made promises to provide financial support, then whether you agree with doing it or not, if you made the promise to do it, then you have to follow through with your promise. By the way, I never would commit more than I could afford to send. That's the other thing. I never would than I could afford to send. And that's how Minnie and I operated. She knew it. She accepted it. You know, I will pass that along. I think she went into town. I'm not sure. I think she told me she was headed into. I understand a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I've only been here now for what, a month and a half, so I'm just getting the hang of it. I know this one, Inomako Cafe. And basic words like masarap, salamat, things like that. That's how you start. You could start turning them into phrases. My own buntag. And what's my favorite? Oh, my favorite one would be walang pera, why corta, why corta. Yeah, I know that one. Sorry, no money. Filipina says people have a time so much to chat with someone means they don't have work. Much to is just focus for their target. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's an excellent point. And so anybody who's trying to get your attention all day long is probably focusing in on something else, right? And that is to transfer your wealth into their pocket. That's a possibility. So let's see, where are we on my list? Oh, lack of love. When someone is serious and when one is not. That is a tough one, right? How do you really know? You don't really know unless you go over there and you meet the person, right? But see, what makes it more difficult is to come over here and have it be the first time that you're here, and then you're meeting the love of your life. How does that work? Because you have no cultural experience whatsoever. You're blind for the first time. You get off the plane in Manila, and as they're driving driving you, as the taxi's taking you to your hotel, you're looking out, and you're scared essless. And what are you scared? Because you're seeing small children around naked in the street taking showers in the in the gutters, in the side of the streets, or begging for money. They're coming up to your window at the stoplight, and they're holding out their hand, and so unless you have somebody helping exactly how to react. You don't know exactly what you should be doing there. And dangerous, ignoring them and giving them money. Wala corta is wala sapi, wala. Thank you for that lesson. Nipan said, I started learning a new language with the bad words. That's the way to do it, Nipan. That's the way to do it. You know? Yeah, my favorite one is FU around the world. It doesn't matter where you live. FU. Oh, my goodness gracious. Nipan, that's the best way. Then you know when someone is cussing you out. Yeah, but I ignore those things. I mean, you're a foreigner in their country, you know. You're a foreigner, and they're going to pretty much ignore you until some experience with you. Either you have to be careful in a town that's so small. Also, you can't really get. It's not a good idea to get angry with someone, right? Because they're the person that's going to be showing up at your house, helping you fix your regulator on your propane tank. They're the ones that are going to be showing up at your house. They're the ones that are going to be doing the finish coating on your fence. You got to be nice to everyone. And when you have a small town like Bye Bye City Leyte, everybody is related to each other. That's just a fact. Nobody leaves here, so that means they're married. That means that the person they end up marrying and forming relationships with are usually a person they went to high school with. And they are also very well known. In other words, everybody knows both the bride and the groom at these weddings. You have a friend have this someone online. Now he's paying for it. His wife is very jealous of him and never just because she is very beautiful. Well, it's a danger zone. Really, you're in the danger zone. I mean, I'm such a shallow individual. I'm just going to admit it right here online in front of God and everybody. There are a lot of videos going on the internet right now about take your wife to the west. Should you take your wife to the east? Should you take your husband to the east? Should you take your wife to the west? And so I'm thinking that Marker 44 got it right, on their video, on his video. And basically, if you can't trust your wife, in Southeast Asia before she comes over to the States, and you probably won't be able to trust her once she comes over to the States. And it works the opposite way. Every day she's downing him a lot. This is a nightmare. Yeah. You always have to watch this with open eyes and an open mind. Number 6 on the 12 reasons for a failed LDR, according to Sally Tenag, who published her video on YouTube on 2021. She currently has 10.3K subscribers. I think you need to go sign up for her channel. But the next one on the list is purely the one that a lot of people talk about, lack of love. One is serious, one is not. So I think Sammy and others have put out, a lot of people go online to play because they got nothing better to do. But I think that this happened a lot during the pandemic because people were just bored. I don't know how it plays out now that things are starting to open up. Bitban says, because of my ethnicity, I used to be mistaken as Filipino until I opened my mouth. Well, the answer to that there probably would be keep your mouth shut, right, Nitban? Filipino girl says the worst part with him in his country. Yeah. And so, but you do have, I've experienced this. You have I'd rather be with a scammer, quite frankly. It's easier to deal with because then the person's scamming. But when a person says they love you And they turn out to be very jealous because they can't be with you 24/7. That is an even more difficult situation, because you have to contribute blind trust to that person, right? And I know men, if it's men in the West that's having a relationship with a Filipina in the East, I'm going to tell you something, right? Men have needs. I don't know if I said that correctly, right? Filipina, and you've been 2 years in lockdown, right? It would have to be one hell of a commitment for a man not to stray. Yeah. The worst part is she is with him now in his country in Australia. Like I said, go back and look at the videos. Dear Sammy, really? Sammy, baby, how many times have you shown your parts to your boyfriend online? No, listen, I'm just messing around here. But really, people keep themselves interested in each other once it gets past that point of no return, and you're going to be with everybody together forever, right? Then what happens? Right? Then what happens? In other words, how does a relationship move forward? How do you mitigate being jealous of each other? The fact is, yes, pandemic, mostly people are stuck at home and no way to meet women or men personally. I got an online boyfriend, but hey, it is fun to have activities to be busy with. That is an important point, you see? So that's a very good point. And so you're going to limit value also. So how do you know the line from serious relationship? How do you admit to yourself that it was only all about fun? I think that's probably what I'm trying to figure out. In other words, here's everybody is locked down. Yes, Daddy Dan. I'm going to have to spank you over there. Because sometimes you reject my advice, and I am your daddy, and so it's a good idea to listen to your daddy, right? So anyway, the whole thing is that I'm sure there's been an awful lot of crossing the lines. Nipban says, I think relationships are good, but they don't make it to the headlines. Only the scammer make the news stories. I agree with you. The majority of relationships, they work out. Even on YouTube, you're not going to hear all the stories about the relationships that went upside down. All you're going to get on there are the feel-good stories, the ones that made it. The Minnie and Dan love story. I show every time, Daddy Dan, every night. That's true. You're very committed. You're a very committed individual, Sammy. You're very committed. So if I were looking for a girlfriend, Sammy, I could count on you. You're very. I know that you said that you're 100% committed to telling the truth. I met Joe's always push them to have more. Yeah. And that's what I did when Minnie, when she came to the States. The very first thing that we did was we went down to the Rizal Community Center, and I started introducing her to the whole Filipino community, which was very interesting because I didn't even know it existed. So I said, "Oh no, she has to realize that there is a huge Filipino community here in Sacramento." No, Daddy, I do listen to you. I take your advice as always, but I forget it. Oh, you have to be reminded. Okay, I appreciate you saying that. Here's Robert enjoying this conversation. Ebony, how are you today? You're so supportive, Ebony. Thanks so much for being here. Oh my God, it's so someone to talk with behind the scenes. The most important being in a relationship is having fun. If not, then it's a very big problem. That's true. You have to squeeze the fun out of life. I'm so glad that this came up and it's going this way, because that's a very, very important and valuable point. Don't be silly on me, Dad. You know, Mommy Minnie loved me. I could ask her to spank your butt. Hey, hey, we promised we weren't going to reveal uh, sex lives here on the video here on YouTube, because I don't have a disclaimer. I don't have the disclaimer on there that says over 18 only. You know, it's a family show. Uh, let's see. Why being in a relationship and you're not happy with it? That's right. Why bother? Bother with it? Why invest time in it if you're not going to be happy with it? Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Number 7. Oh, number 7 is very, very important. Number 7, lack of patience. Yeah, especially during the COVID. So we're locked down for 2 years. Things open up in the Philippines. And so you're just meeting each other for the first time. You know, sometimes I have to have my crying rag with me when I watch some of these videos on YouTube, because I'm feeling what they're feeling. If you can only imagine, I mean, we've all lived through it. We're in lockdown. We formed these online LDRs, right? All we want is to go and meet the love of our lives, or who we think are the love of our lives. And we can't get out the door and down to the airport fast enough. And then when we actually see the meeting, you know, on video, where everybody's crying, everybody's telling each other how much they love each other, it is one of the wonderful things that I could ever imagine seeing. So, I mean, if you wanted to spend all day crying with your crying tears of joy, watch some of those videos where they're meeting for the first time on YouTube. Yeah, if it's toxic, I know that word toxic is going around, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know exactly what that means. You know, I don't know what a toxic relationship is. You mean where you poison your spouse? Hey, how do you do that anyway, Sammy? They told me arsenic works very well. No. Hey, if I keep going this way, I'm going to end up getting banned by YouTube. So I'm only making jokes here, you know. Okay. It is God says, go to the world and multiply. That's right. That's right. Elon Musk, to that guy. Repopulate. That's what Elon Musk is saying. Dan, I'm very happy and blessed to be with a beautiful girlfriend. We truly love each other. And you know what? It's a very difficult thing to find. It ain't as easy as you think. You obviously know this, Robert, but it's even difficult if you're trying to find that love in other parts of the world other than Southeast Asia. I just would like to point that out. And that's my own opinion. You know, it's different on the other side of the planet. It's different. I can't really, I mean, I can articulate it, you know, but can I articulate it without insulting anyone? Yeah, I'm not so sure I'd be able to articulate my feelings without riff with some people. Yeah, don't waste your time in bad relationships. Yeah. No time to be a martyr. That's a song, right? There's no time to play around with being a martyr. Well, yeah, I feel that way. You know, it's an ethereal thing, Nitban. Nitban, you know me so well. Listen, Nitban has just this type of dry sense of humor that only if you had one, then you understand Nitban well. Uh, yeah, you know, and so it's an ethereal thing, being the and then having the mind function as though you're a 25-year-old. It's just so weird. Uh, oh, that's so sweet. It's so sweet that any moment now I'm going to have to leave and vomit. Yeah. Jerry, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. How are you, by the way? How are you, Jerry? Nice. Jerry's good people. Jerry's very, very good people. Oh, how sweet, Professor, each other. Live here on Dan's channel. So yeah, Nitban, Larry says, I wish I felt young at heart. Sammy's laughing at me. Well, I'd rather have Sammy laughing at me, than throwing rocks at me or something. you know. Yeah. It's so syrupy sweet. So syrupy. So let's see. Lack of patience. We know that's an obvious one, I think. Let's see. Oh, here's a sticky wicket. Number 8. Lack of acceptance. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah. This is about when you marry into a Filipino family, you're also marrying their family. This is true. This is from a cultural perspective. This is very true. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course we know, Jerry. We are sorry about that. We're sorry about what's going on there. Filipino Raquel, you may be young at heart, Sir Lazy Larry, but it's good for your. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. So, acceptance. This is a thing that a lot of Westerners struggle with accepting. That when they marry into a Filipino family, they're marrying the whole family. But folks that aren't comfortable with that, they have to spell it out right up front. Don't get too deep into a relationship if you're in the West and you're not very comfortable with that that ideology of accepting responsibility for your newfound love's family. Did I say that? Did I say that okay? So you have to work it out and be upfront. Number 9, lack of respect. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Lack of respect. So I think what she's talking about in this is asking your Filipina, I could be wrong about this, I apologize if I am, asking her to do things cam for you might be viewed as being a tiny bit disrespectful. So I think that's where she was going with it. Exactly sure. You're going to have to watch the video to find out, but that's what I got out of it. Listen, the next one, number 10, is lack of listening to the opinion of others. Learn to be humble. Yeah, in this one, she spent an awful lot of time talking about how it's okay to be a know-it-all and proud of who you are as a Westerner, but you have to give a little bit of room to listening to and considering the ideas that your Filipino love would like to share with you. And I think she was talking about people being dismissive of your ideas. I think that's where she was going with that. And again, difficult thing for a Westerner to accept also, and I'll tell you why. Because, you know, I've caught myself oftentimes saying, well, we do it in the West this way. We do it in the West this way. You know, and so that sort of thing. And then after a while, they get sick of hearing that. Well, we do it this way in the in other words, they don't want to hear all the time that this way is a better way, you know, because we have more experience doing it this way in the West. How is the weather in the Philippines? Rain, sunshine, by rain, followed by sunshine, followed by rain. Jerry, that's how it is all the time here, right? Like last night, it stormed like crazy here, and then in the blink of an eye, it was gone. And this morning, the sun is shining bright. It's probably going to be 90 degrees here in where I am. Oh, meow meow time. Yes, this is very disrespectful, especially for those who have just started an online relationship. So I'm getting some validation here from a few of these from Filipino Raquel. Yes, it's to be humble when you are perfect in every way. Yes, exactly. You get me, Larry. You get me. You get exactly where I'm coming from. And when you're carrying around a pocket full of money, it becomes extremely difficult to accept other people's ideas. So this is a very, very valid point, you know. So you gotta be willing to listen at least some of the time, right? Let's see, what else do we have on this list? Lack of understanding, but that could be cultural. So number 11 is lack of understanding, but this could be, you know, a language barrier, a cultural barrier, and that's why I say this whole thing, right? Because if you've never been to the Philippines, then you're talking to your Filipino love on the internet. This is the only exposure culture is what you're seeing there. There, I did it, didn't I? I said exposure. I didn't mean that kind of exposure. I meant that this is your only interaction, you know, with a native Filipino. Then I think that you need to get on a plane and come over here. You know, respected the foreigner is not an ATM or bank. Yes, but the problem with that is that they think that you're yeah, and I don't lie, speak the truth, and do. Most people aren't liars, they're being truthful about their situation. And so you just have to say the words, and hopefully they'll get that you don't have any money, you know, you don't have a money. And so you can't go there, and it's not like a slot machine and you're hitting the three sevens across every time, cha-ching, 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 you know. Or that if you have an ATM card, it must mean that you have money in the bank. No. It's very difficult because a Westerner generally will have more money at hand or on hand than your Filipino love or your Filipino counterpart. And that's what makes it difficult. Well, the fact that we are all sinners and nobody is perfect, we do what's best for each other, for living to be good rather than to be in a bad position. Yes. I caution everyone to always keep an open mind, even in times of despair. You know, even in times of despair, and even in times where you may think wrongs are being done to you. You know, you have to critically think and evaluate, you know, circumstances. I'm very, very bad at doing this. I'm better at giving the. I'm very, very bad at taking advantage of my own advice. And Larry is saying that's an old song. You got to sing it for us tomorrow, Larry, on your live. Filipino Raquel, join us tomorrow on Larry's live. That would be a hoot. Jerry says no snow while in Michigan. Got snow for a few days, and have some videos. Okay, well, you guys go over to Jerry's channel and subscribe and take a look at what's going on in terms of weather in. By the way, if I were to go back to the United States, reason and take up find a new homestead, I probably would be in the state of Michigan somewhere. And the only reason is because I'm very thrifty, and housing is very inexpensive there right now, and so that's one of the reasons why I would move there. Hard to be perfect when no one is perfect, Larry. That's true. Nitban, speak for yourself. I'm perfect. Yeah, that's right. And I could vouch for that. Nitban is one of the most perfect people that I have yet to meet. Yeah, we all encourage you to be as perfect of a human being as you can be. Bam! I hit a home run on that one. I hit a home run on that one. Yes, you are a perfect example of what not to be. That's hilarious. Just kidding. Yeah, we know you're joking. So does Larry. He's just trying to be. Everybody's trying to be the straight deliver the straight lines here. You know, they're trying to give you they're trying to give you the material. You know. Anyway. So true, Tim. Your friend only when you have money to get out something from your pocket. That's not everybody. You know, that isn't even the majority of people in my experience. You know. But when you're in a relationship, it becomes difficult sometimes because even though you might be saying, why cuatro, no money, you know, walang pera. Well, they don't believe you most of the time, right? They don't believe you. They think that because you have an ATM card, you know, you've got money in the bank. What time, Sir Dan? What time? I don't know. It's time to go almost. Yeah, for those of you located in other parts, it is, what time is it? Is it 8:40 on Saturday morning here in Bye Bye City Leyte, in the bedroom studio of Dan's Retirement Journey? Let's see. Number 12, lack of faith. Yeah, the final point being made in Sally Tanai's video that she published on 4/21 with 1.1K views at 10.3K subscribers is the lack of faith. Yeah, and I think she was talking about having faith in the process. So if you formulate, oh yeah, it's close. I was saying earlier, Nitban, before you got here, I'm not sure I'm going to make it to the DD because so much stuff is going on here at the house, you know. So I'll be here in case they need something. They're in the home stretch. I have to be available in case they need supplies. So you have to have faith in the process. So if you're going to go into this long distance relationship online, then you have to have some faith in the process. So what do we got going on here? Landcard, Jaya, Blitar. I love moniker. I love this thumbnail. Beautiful. God is above all and keep faith to God. I think that, you know, I don't know why she didn't actually say the words. I was waiting for her to say the words to have faith in God and to trust the process. But I think I am saying that, right? I'm saying faith in the process and have faith in God during the process. Otherwise, how could it survive? How would you be able to survive the online long distance relationship? You can't touch the person. You know, you have to depend upon what's coming through on your computer screen. What you have to trust what's coming through your phone. You know, what the person is saying with their words, the voice that they're using. Are they being? You're deciding all these things are in play. Are they being truthful with you? A lot of guys have gotten into long distance relationships only to go over there to find out that the Filipino love of their life, or who they thought would be the love of their life, was already married. A friend of mine who goes over there, and then he gets contacted. He submits all the paperwork for the K1 visa, goes over there expecting that she has her interview at the embassy, goes over there expecting he'll be brought back home. And then the embassy calls and says to him, "Oh, gee, I don't know if you know this or not, but your intended is already married, you know." And so that's that. And he was so in love with this person. And then the embassy called. Not only is she in love with you, but she's in love with others. This is a horrible, horrible have happened. I felt so badly. It's a horrible thing, to have happen. Yeah, Larry cleared that up for me. So it's 7 p.m. Saturday night. That's tonight at 7 p.m. It would be 7 a.m. the following morning in the United States, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, but Filipino Raquel, you've been live. I'm sitting there at midnight, and then all of a sudden I get a notification. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm dreaming that or if that actually happened last night or the night before. Dan, just text me and have her bring you a Bavarian cream donut. Yeah, I should. I should, but it's not quite. It's not quite the same as sitting there, on the in the Dunkin' Donuts watching the Perils walk by. It's not exactly the same, So usually I'm sitting there eating the Bavarian cream donut as the parade of Filipinos are walking by, and the Bavarian cream is kind of like dripping down my of my mouth. It's totally. Filipino says, not just have faith in God, but of course by showing it with actions. Many people, they're very good in Bible, but their actions are totally opposite, the complete opposite. I've experienced that myself. I have experienced it twice. So, okay, that's how you do it. It starts exactly 24 hours after mine. Yeah. Okay, we got it. We got it. Larry Lee. Nip Band said, I learned very quickly that questioning everything makes the LDR toxic. I learned to trust, and that opened up more close interaction voluntarily. Also, I made an effort to create. Wait. I'm in suspense. Create a relationship with their family members, and that did the trick. It was magic. That's beautiful, because I think that you kind of like tied everything in together in what this was all about. Everything is tied together now. That really is the key to long-lasting relationships with folks that live here in the Philippines. And so, so Filipina says, yes, sir, Dan, I'm live in the middle of the night with no drama. Well, I understand why you do it. I understand, but I'm an old man, I need my beauty rest. So a couple of times looking up, because I've gotten an alert on the phone. I'm looking, my eyes are like kind of like, just I could see a little bit of light, and then I could see, the notification that you're live. So I could appreciate why you do it. I certainly can. Relationship with their family members did the magic on that, and that is great advice. I think everybody should be doing. Well, man, I have worn myself out talking about all these different subjects, and so I think we're up here. Larry Lee says, Dan, you are younger than me. Not by much, just a little bit. just a little bit. But I pray that I will make it to age 69. I pray that everything will go okay. Yeah. So far, so good is about all I could say. So I hope, I mean, this live stream, it's been one of the most fun ones that I think I've done. And I appreciate everybody hanging in there with me for the almost, what, 2 hours that we've been live. Is that what it is? I can't see. I got to get my magnifying glass out. See, check this out. Whoa, hurry. Whoa, let me see my time. 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 29 seconds. That's a pretty good live, I would say. Sure, no worries. The fact that I'm busy taking care of my kid. That's what I figured is you're doing your lives in between your other duties, in between work, taking care of the kids, and then you're going live. So I kind of figured that that was the reason why we're doing that. Oh my goodness! Hey, by the way, that's an important number. I'll tell you why. Because there's that go into it's another video that I want to talk about. Go into that video. It's called 369. Now, I would say I'm a fairly spiritual person, but lately what's caught my attention is the effects of vibration on the planet. I'm into that whole thing now. And also the numbers, the importance of the numbers. And so go into that video where it goes 369, and then tell me if you get anything out of that. That it's easy to get all the things you want if you tap into the vibration of the universe, which is God to me. But here's the whole thing about that. When I think back about my most successful times in life, and as a matter of fact, I'm going through a period in life where I'm just becoming tremendously successful at what I'm doing. I don't know what all cylinders are active. All cylinders are operating. There's no misfires. And so whenever I think about that, what was common? What's the commonality in those? And I'm finding out that there is commonality. And that is that you have to dream the dream first and make it work for you. And there's certain steps that I take when I want that to come true. And so that was that. I write down the three most important things that I want to accomplish in my future and in my current circumstances. 1, 2, 3. I write it down. I review it 6 times a day at least, and then for a period of time of 9 minutes. And so for some of you, it may seem a little wacky, but I started realizing that I was Gadget. Yeah, I feel like Inspector Gadget. I do have a lot of gadgets here. By the way, since you brought up gadgets, I've been sitting on this one. I've been telling you guys all about it, right? I've been sitting on this one. This gadget, I'm afraid of, and I really can't tell you why, but this is the DJI 2. So I'm going to see if I have power. I don't know why I'm afraid of this thing, Maybe I'm afraid of messing up editing. Even though I've watched the tutorial videos over and over again about how to operate this thing, I still am afraid of it. But anyway, more about that later. I'm going to have to face my fears. Maybe this should be on my list of things. Look at this. Look at this robot. Boop. That's friggin' amazing. Well, anyway, it's going to say that I realized that I was already doing this. So when I go into these videos on YouTube where they say, here's what you do if you want to get everything out of life, then I started realizing that I was already doing these things. So I was spiritual for a year. Now I'm spiritual. Okay, I'm connecting. Maybe I'm connecting with you, but I realized that I was already doing this. Oh yeah, this is funny, Tim. Vibration theory does not work in the Philippines. Too many earthquakes here. Interfere everything. The vibrating pulses. Oh, but Tim, an important thought, that I just had, and that is that do not cause an earthquake in here. Please, please don't practice vibrational theory if you think you're going to cause an earthquake. Then I remember when you fixed your tooth with Gorilla Glue. Oh, yeah, yeah. See, so listen, people, the world has gone nuts. The world has gone crazy. Robert, that's why I did it. That's why I do my own dental work, because I got YouTube. No, no, no. I'm not advising anybody to go on YouTube in order to do their own dental work. And do not glue to put in a crown that comes loose. I use the dental stuff that they say works. I found it online at Lazada or someplace. I ordered it, and you too can be a dentist, but don't. I'm only sharing with you my experience. I wouldn't advise anybody here to do their own dental work. But that crown that came loose is still in place all those months ago, after putting it back. Okay, Sir Dan, going to make some short videos for kiddos who's busy online. All righty, take care, Philippine. I do appreciate you being here, and we'll be looking for that. We'll be looking to. So here you go. He just gave you the chemical formula for spirit, C2H2OH. He just gave it to you. Nip Bam, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm on your background, Sir Dan. Thanks for a wonderful stream. It was nice always to speak with you, and your contact is way better than the rest. Thank you so much, Filipina Raquel. I truly appreciate you. That means a lot to me. God bless us all. Peace out. Take care, Raquel. Stay safe and healthy, but always try to have. Yeah, you can find anything. So yeah, if you don't want to take that $1,000 or $2,000 out of your pocket to fix that tooth, which they wanted way more than that, that's why I'm saying the world has gone insane. $30 kit from Lazada. That's all I'm saying. But this was easy. It was just a crown. It was just a bridge that came out. Stuff like that is easy to put back. No, you don't use, Robert, you're cracking me up. You don't use Gorilla Glue. I don't know any video on YouTube that shows people to put their crown back using Gorilla Glue. Tim says, I can't be my own dentist. I don't have any teeth. Well, you got to make some. They have a kit for that online, Tim. They have a kit for everything online. Oh, my goodness. All right. So where are we? Oh, yeah, we're ending the stream here. Yeah, it's been 2 hours now. I'm over the 2-hour mark. That's a lively stream. And I don't know. I've been thinking about working on some shorts too. No, not shorts. Short videos, but how do you upload them? Someone has it from my phone, from my Android phone, because I don't know how to use this computer program. I'm as much afraid of my computer from Wondershare as I am using this. Well, anyway, we'll figure it all out. Maybe somebody will message and they'll say, Dan, Tim says, oh, it's very cheap here in the Philippines to fix teeth, and we have the best dentist here. Yeah, I've since discovered that also. And so next time I probably will go to the dentist as opposed to fixing myself. I was actually in the States when this happened. And so they're crazy in this. They want for dental work. As I've told a lot of people, I got kicked out of a dentist's office one time for calling them a charlatan. I said, first start by making wooden teeth for Washington. I think I said something like that. I could carve my own teeth. If they could do it for Washington, I do it. Why can't I? why can't why can't I do my own dental work if they carved out for Washington, right? Have a great weekend, but every day is a weekend for you. And don't be jealous because time is going to fly by. You only have something like 8 years when your plan comes to fruition in advance. You're on track. You'll be here. It'll be in a blink of an eye. Boop. It'll be within a blink of an eye. You're going to be here. Yeah. The price of dental care is more than doubled here now, but it's still relatively inexpensive. Yeah. All right, everybody. Larry, if you're listening, take us out of this live stream. Larry Lee. Here he is. Dan. Oh, I got kicked out of this for kicking him in his privates as a kid. I think that's easier for a dentist to take than being told that they're a charlatan. Yes, anticipation than the reality, and I've actually come to believe that. So, Sir Larry's Crystal Adventures is tickled. I chipped my front teeth, fixed it in Bangkok for $30. That's probably where I'll get my teeth fixed. Honestly, when we head back to Bangkok, we'll probably get all the healthcare stuff done. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. And we'll see you, barring me having any impromptu live streams. We'll see you the next week, same time, same station, next weekend. Everybody have a nice week, and we'll try and put up some interesting videos. Bye bye. See you later.